Hi, welcome back to South for Your Mouth. I have some good news today. My good friends from church are here. This is Brian Powers and his wife Tracy. Good friends from church, and this guy here can cook, and Tracy can too. So we're going to have fun in the kitchen today. What are we going to make, Brian?
Lasagna.
Okay, tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm Brian Powers. I've worked the City of Greenville Fire Department. Been there for going on 20 years now. Lieutenant there, and
Excuse me, I forgot to do that.
yeah, we're just gonna come and have a little fun, do some cooking with Miss Hazel here.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Well, Brian, tell us how you got this recipe.
Well,
Oh no, it's okay. It's
but he might as well have been. This is
her uncle. That's wonderful.
he passed away. He's a really great guy.
It's okay. It's wonderful to remember him in this way.
Give me just a second here, and we'll get going. Anyway, this was my wife's father-in-law, and my father-in-law, my wife's father's one of his best friends from the military. He was a cook, and loved to do that. He would come over. Well, he actually would come down. He lived in Pennsylvania. He would come down here to South Carolina and clean out my mother-in-law's kitchen, refrigerator, everything, throw stuff away. He would go to the store and buy up stuff and just fill the refrigerator back full of fresh stuff, and then he would start cooking. And he would call when it was getting close to being done, and he'd have my mother-in-law's kitchen is very similar to this. He would have food everywhere, and when you get there, he'd hand you 2 plates. And all right, here you go. We're going to fill these plates up. You're going to eat really good today. So when Tracy and I got married, he was here for the wedding, of course, and he did the same thing. Took everything out. But this time what he did was, while he was here and we were on our honeymoon, he was making food and actually putting it in the freezer for us to have for when we got back off our honeymoon.
Wonderful.
And he wrote all these recipes down.
I know you treasure them, don't you?
He passed away a few years later.
Uh-huh.
And he's well missed. Well missed.
And today we're going to remember him real well, aren't we?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, tell the folks what you're going to actually use in this today.
Okay, we got ground beef, which we're not using that whole thing.
That's ground round.
We use maybe a half of that.
That's ground round.
We got Monterey Jack cheese. We got mozzarella cheese, provolone.
Smoked provolone.
Yes, smoked provolone. That makes a difference. Cottage cheese. Now he wrote it down as you could use ricotta, but since Tracy doesn't like ricotta that well, he put down either or. So cottage cheese is what we usually do. Spaghetti seasoning, a lemon, and whatever your favorite sauce is. Miss Hazel's is ragu. Onions and mushrooms, whichever to your liking.
It's Baby Bella's.
Well, we can put garlic in there. You don't necessarily have to put garlic in there. Of course, the lasagna noodles, Barilla, is what we're using today. And we'll get started. All right. And right here we have our noodles cooking. I usually cook them well done, but al dente works really good because they continue cooking in the oven.
I'm going to be the sous chef today. I got your onions cut up.
All right.
I'm going to be working on the meat while you work on that. I'm going to take half of this amount of beef. You can use a pound or a pound and a half, right?
Yes.
Okay, now you go ahead while I do this.
All right. I'm just going to mix up because I usually shred, but shredded is fine. I usually get the blocks and shred it, and I'll shred one, and then
I have the block if you need it.
But this works just great. So we'll mix this in. The provolone, we'll wait and put that on last before it goes in the oven.
If if you look at this meat here, we did add water to it so that we can drain it in a minute. So we make sure it's not greasy at all. This is ground round. Okay, our noodles are done. We're going to pour them up. I'm gonna run just a little bit of cold water over it so they won't cook anymore till we get them in the oven.
Well, all right. So we're gonna preheat the oven to 350 and have that ready. Maybe we are.
Try the bait there.
Wait, there we go. Hey, there it is. All right. All right. We're gonna drain this, get it back in this pot. Get it back in the pot.
Let's just go ahead and rinse these, make sure they're perfect.
All right, now we're going to do the rest of the ingredients in with the ground beef. Here's the onion that Miss Hazel already
if that's
chopped
too
up.
many, you don't have to use that many.
Do you like onion?
I love onions.
Okay. We'll put all of it in. Stir that around. Get it smelling good in here.
I love onions.
Then we'll use our spaghetti sauce. We're about to make a mess. So we can turn this down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it'll start bubbling. All right. My spoon. There it is. Stir that in. Spaghetti seasoning mix. We're going to put it in.
You can use any kind of that, right? Any
Yes,
brand.
it doesn't matter what brand. It's spaghetti seasoning.
I have more if you need another half or so.
I think this will do. Stir that in. I'm going to turn this down a little more. I'm making a mess.
It's okay, I'll clean it up.
Now, the juice of one lemon goes in this.
Why do you put that in there, Brian, you reckon?
I don't know why he put that in
It
there.
just give it a little pickup,
I guess so.
a little zest.
It's just something that he had in the recipe.
Well, it
I
works.
guess that's what he did. Shout out to my grandma. This was her lemon squeezer.
How cool is that? Look at that. You know, acid does pick up the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine this
That's
kind of
probably
enhances that some.
I think so.
Right, and stir that in. Now we're going to put in the cottage cheese or ricotta. Like I said, it's your choice if you like ricotta. Just like I said, my wife really doesn't care for the ricotta. So he put it in there as you could use ricotta or cottage cheese. I think he used cottage cheese in his anyways. So I'm only going to do probably about half of this and then see what we got.
What size was that one so people will know?
This is the 24 ounce. I think 16 is usually about what I'll do. So we're going to stir this and see how it looks and go from there. That's fine. I've done that too. It just makes it more cheesy.
I guess it melts when you cook it, huh?
Yeah, most part it does. Ooh, and we don't want to forget the mushrooms. Now, Miss Hazel already rinsed these, as you've seen. Now, this is stuff that you can put in if you want to, if you don't want to.
That's 1 pound.
Yeah, this was one box of it. I have cut up bell peppers and put in it before. It's whatever you want. This is yours. When you make it, it's yours. So
Put whatever you want.
whatever you want in it. Yeah. So when it starts looking like a mess, then you pretty much got it stirred in good.
The point is to make a mess.
Yes.
Tell them what you're doing.
So we're going to taste it and make sure that it's ready to go. Yes, that's ready. It's good.
Very good.
So what I usually do, and I know that we sprayed this pan, but I usually put a little of this on the bottom. Kind of helps with the noodles.
You got plenty, so it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, there's always a lot of this. A lot of times we'll put some of this up. When we make a lasagna, we'll put some of it in a freezer bag and put it in the freezer. The sauce, that is, and have it for later. And then we just start with the noodles and cheese.
Okay. Start layering, right?
Start layering. Usually about 3 noodles covers the whole thing. We'll see how it goes. Some of these kind of look funny, but that's yours. You're not making it for perfection for a restaurant or anything. So this is your meal. You know, nothing ever comes out exactly right all the time as far as the noodles anyways. When we go with some more sauce, get back over there. Once you get some sauce in, then you put cheese and
Now
just
that's
continue.
a mixture, right?
This is a mixture of mozzarella and Monterey Jack. I just mixed it all in the bowl together. Be as generous as you want. It's usually good with lots of cheese. And you just continue this on until you get to the top.
When do you do this?
At the very last.
Oh, I thought he did it.
So we're going to start layer number 2. Well, I started out with that a little too fast. We got to put noodles, then more sauce. We got to find the other piece of that noodle. Just lay him a little closer. Now I put an extra noodle in, and it was just in case something like that happened. Now we put more sauce. Half-hour-ish in the oven, or until the cheese starts browning real good. All right, more cheese.
We had roughly a pound of the Monterey Jack and a pound of the mozzarella, in case you wondered.
Yes. And like I said, you know, for this, the shredded's fine, but I usually buy it in blocks and shred it. You can do either way. It doesn't matter. Cheese is cheese.
Oh, yeah.
All right. More noodles. The last layer. This is 3 layers, and we're done. We're going to be over the top here, it looks like.
It's all right.
And some of our noodles didn't make it through exactly unscathed, but that's all good. We'll turn him around. Uh-oh. And I do that just in case. I cook 10 or 11 just in case you have this. And sometimes you may have that extra one that's whole and you can leave that one out. Last time a sauce. We cook this and the ladies ministry. Some of the ladies got it in the church, and then the ladies ministry wanted us to do it last year. So me and Johnny Moore, he has a very similar recipe, made lasagnas last year for the Christmas party for the ladies.
I guess they're doing it this year too, aren't they?
Yes. Get some more of this cheese in, and then we'll put this cheese on top of that, and it goes in the oven. So I hope you like cheese.
Cheese, please.
So we're going to use all of that.
That's just like in macaroni. I always put a lot of cheese.
Oh yeah, and then we just start layering these over. You had a big thing of these, so this should be plenty.
I've got more if you need them.
No, this should do. This should do. The smoked provolone really makes the difference too. I know a lot of times you can't find the smoked provolone, but any of it will do, but the smoke kind of adds that extra flavor. And this is ready to go.
Get it turned on.
All right, and this is going in here for around a half hour at 350.
Could be 45. We'll just see, right?
So yeah, it could be 45. You just got to make sure that that cheese is nice and brown and bubbly.
Let's turn the light on.
As
See,
we can
Tracy,
see, it's all nice and
just
brown
as
and
easy to
bubbly.
wrap
This
up.
is done.
Yeah.
We're going to get this thing out, let it cool down a little bit,
Like I said, I got my
and
hand in
enjoy.
this.
I've got my salad here with my homemade croutons. Got my good friends here and my son. And here we go. I can't wait to taste it. Looks so good, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
I bet it's hot though. That's delicious.
All right. You get me a
I
piece
love
now.
lasagna.
Be my approved.
Mima approved, yes.
My approved.